Not a religion of extremism. It is not a religion of terrorism. Rather, I would say there's no religion that calls to terrorism or calls to extremism. But however, it's people's, deviation from their true faith that causes them to go these ways. I hope all this of some benefit to you all, and thank you for listening to me.
Thank you very much, Kabir. Big round of applause for Kabir. What an outstanding speech. I'm Sadie Dolly. I'm Joint Secretary of United Against Fascism National League. What a great day to be an anti-fascist. How many of us here today to think? 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 throughout the day? And what, only around 5,000 at the moment. Anyone beating 5,000? Everything. And only 500 EDL. That's amazing. We've out-mobilised them again. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce our next speaker, who is Luton MP, Calvin Opkin, and it's all out against racism and fascism.
Good afternoon, everyone. Great to be here and to see this magnificent demonstration against racism, against fascism, and against Islamophobia. Luton has a magnificent history of opposing racism and opposing fascism, and I remember some of this myself. I will take you back to the 1970s, where the National Front put up candidates in some of our wards. In one year, we got 250 votes. We thought that was 250 votes too many, so we set up the Luton Committee for Racial Harmony. It still existed. It was a big campaign covering all the minority groups, the trade unions, the political parties, and the churches, of course, at that time. And it was a magnificent organisation. We campaigned directly against the National Front. We didn't leave them alone. We campaigned in their ward. We repeated it over and over again. We had public meetings. And what happened? The next election, the vote collapsed to 50 from 250. It shows what you can do when you oppose racism and oppose fascism. You can actually win. A little later on, the National Front invaded a meeting. Now, there's a friend of mine over here called Steve Hart. Steve Hart's the National Officer for Unite the Union. His mother was a Labour Cabinet Minister called Judith Hart, and she came to speak to a meeting about international development, about, hands across the sea, helping the poor of the world and so on. The National Front invaded that meeting and smashed up that meeting. We thought that was completely intolerable, so we reorganised the meeting. I chaired it, the police kept the National Front away, and we had that meeting. We repeated it, and Judith Hart spoke magnificently on that day. Later on in time, of course, we had the British National Party. They tried to infiltrate again, to get into political power. They put up candidates in by-elections in Luton, particularly in Farley. And again, we had a magnificent campaign against the BNP, directly against them, and we drove them out. The BNP were not successful. They never catch on in Luton because we opposed them. They have actively to be opposed. We cannot just pretend and leave them alone and let them have their way. More recently, of course, we've had the EDL. And since the EDL started,